Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over perpendicular lines. So we're going to start with the definition of perpendicular lines. So this is right here is the criteria for two lines to be perpendicular, that their slopes have to be negative reciprocal of each other. So when we talk about the reciprocal of a number, let's say if we talk about a number 2, the reciprocal of that is 1 over that number, which is 1 over 2. So a negative reciprocal would be then the reciprocal times negative 1. So that would be the negative reciprocal. Okay, so we talk about reciprocal is the number 1 divided by that number. So 3 reciprocal of that is 1 over that number, which is 1 divided by that number is 1 divided by 3. And the negative reciprocal would be then negative 1 times 1 over 3, which would be negative 1/3. Okay, it's negative 1/2. Okay, and let's say if we have a number which is 4 over 5, we want to find the reciprocal of that. How do we find that? Well, we take that number and we divide 1 over that number, 4 over 5. Now if we do a little more math, it's a 1 divided by 4 over 5, and then we convert that division into multiplication. So 1 times 5 over 4, so it's 5 over 4. And if we want to find the negative reciprocal, we just multiply this by negative 1. So negative 1 times 5 over 4, which is negative 5 over 4. So basically we flip the number when we find the reciprocal. So if it was 4 over 5, we flipped it, we got 5 over 4. So if we look at 2, technically 2 is 2 over 1. So we flip that, it becomes 1/2. Same thing with 3. 3 is 3 over 1. We flip that, it becomes 1/3. And then negative reciprocal would be just multiply the reciprocal by negative 1. That would give you a negative 1/3. So if we have 4, okay, we can write it as 4 over 1, and then we flip it to get the reciprocal, which would be 1/4. If 4 goes to the denominator and 1 goes to numerator, and the negative reciprocal would be just negative multiplying with that would be negative 1/4 right here. Okay, so this was just to refresh some of your memory to what is reciprocal and what is negative reciprocal. So for two lines to be perpendicular, their slopes have to be negative reciprocal of each other. So if we take line 1, the slope of the second line has to be the negative reciprocal of slope of the line 1. So for example, our line 1 is this right here. The slope is this right here with the x term. So slope is 2. Okay. For this line to be perpendicular to this one, the slope of this line has to be the negative reciprocal of this right here. So let's see if that's true. So what is the reciprocal of 2? Well, 2, the reciprocal of that would be 1 over 2, right? You divide this 2, you take the 1 and you divide by this 2, you get 1/2. You can just take 2 and or you can make it like that, 2 over 1, and you flip it, becomes 1/2. Okay, now the negative reciprocal is negative 1 times 1/2, which would be negative 1/2. So now if you look at this right here, that's exactly what we have, negative 1 over 2. So slope of the second line is equals negative 1/2. So these two are the negative reciprocals of each other. So these two lines are perpendicular. So right here. So another thing about perpendicular line, they're intersecting each other at 90-degree angle. So there is a right angle at the intersection right here. So this is the right angle. Okay. So these two lines are perpendicular because their slopes are negative reciprocal of each other. All right, now let's go ahead and do the second example. Here we have two lines as well, and we want to show if these lines are perpendicular or not. So the first line, we have is this right here, y minus 3x equals 2. So we bring that into slope-intercept form. We take the x on the other side. We want to separate our y. So y, this is gone, equals 3x plus 2. Now the second line, we have this one, so we have to simplify that one as well. So we have 6 in parentheses, we have y minus 2 plus 2x equals negative 15. So we go ahead and solve this one. So we distribute the 6 inside, so it becomes 6y minus 12. It multiplies with the terms inside. 6 times y is 6y, and 6 times negative 2 is negative 12 plus 2x equals negative 15. Now we eliminate 12 from this side. We add 12 on both sides. So this 12 is gone. So you're left with 6y plus 2x equals negative 3. Now we eliminate 2x from both sides. And from the left side to separate our y, so we eliminate 2x. So this has to be subtracting 2x, not adding 2x, because we have plus 2x, so we subtract 2x and we get rid of this. We have 6y equals negative 2x minus 3, and then we go ahead and divide both sides by 6, so every term is divided by 6. So we have y equals negative 1/3 x. This negative 3 over 6 is negative 1/2. Okay, so this is our second line. Now we have to see that the m1 equals 3, and we know m2 is equals negative 1/3. So now for two lines to be perpendicular, their slopes have to be negative reciprocal. So what is the negative reciprocal of 3? So we take 3. The reciprocal of that is we divide 1 with that number 3. It becomes 1/3, and the negative reciprocal would be negative 1 times 1/3, which would be equal to negative 1/3. So this negative 1/3 is the negative reciprocal of 3. So these two lines are perpendicular because their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. The other way to do it would be taking 3 and putting 1 underneath like that, then flipping it becomes 1/3, and then multiply 1/3 with negative 1 gets you negative 1/3. All right, so these two lines these are the graphs of these two lines. So the one with the positive slope, this is in the green, 3x plus 2. This is your y-intercept of this line. This right here, 2 is the y-intercept of 0, 2. And the purple line is your line with the negative 1/3 slope. So this would be negative 1/3 x minus 1/2. So this point right here is the y-intercept, which is 0, negative 1/2. Okay, so y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go to the last example. Now we have these two lines as well, and we have to see if they're perpendicular or not. Okay, and these are the graphs of these two lines. So let's go ahead and solve that. So first line is y equals 2x plus 4, and then we have this one is already in slope-intercept form. We know that m equals 2. The second one is negative 2x plus 6y equals 18. This one we have to actually solve. So we solve for y, so we eliminate 2x from this side. So we add 2x on both sides of the equal sign. So this is gone, and 6y equals 2x plus 18. And then you divide both sides by 6 to solve for the y. So this y equals 2 over 6 is 1/3 when you simplify it. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. So this is your equation of the second line. So m2 equals 1 over 3. So if we look at m1 and m2, okay, now see, for them to be perpendicular, m1 must be equal to negative 1 over m2 in the negative reciprocal. Okay, so if we have m1, we take the reciprocal of that. We have 2, reciprocal of that is 1 over 2, and then we go ahead and multiply this by negative 1. So this becomes negative 1/2. So the negative reciprocal of 2 is negative 1/2. And when we do that, we get these two, but in reality we have this right here, so these are not perpendicular lines, so not perpendicular. Perpendicular. All right, so hopefully this helps.